Hello, I'm back and we're here in the kitchen. We're going to make some tikka masala vegan style. A lot of people have it with chicken, but we're going to do it a vegetarian style, like with cauliflower and peas. So I'm just going to start and we're going to prepare it. And I've pre-done some things ahead of time to save us some time as I do this presentation. So I got a medium onion here. I'm going to go ahead and dice. And if you notice, an onion has a hard core on the end of it. If you'll, when you slice it, if you'll leave that core end, the unsliced, that'll hold your onion together while you're dicing while it's being diced up, and then you can just chop it at the very end. That way your onion, when you're slicing it, don't fall all apart. Kind of holds itself together. I already have a little oil in the pan over here. Let me do this ginger first. That's one medium onion. And I got some fresh ginger here I'm going to slice up also. Goes in the recipe. I'll give you the recipe as I go. I'm just trying to get this stuff done a little bit ahead of time here. Dice this ginger up really fine. And I'm going to put all this in the pot at the same time. So getting it prepped here a little bit. Remember our first video, I taught you how to use a knife, so keep your fingers 90-degree angle, your thumb behind, so you can chop without worrying about cutting your fingers off. There's another little piece of ginger here. I like ginger. It's really good for you also. It's good for colds and things like that. Immune system. It's a good immune builder. Okay, I'm going to take those onions and we're going to put it over here in this pot. I have a teaspoon of oil in this pan. I'm going to go ahead and add these onions and this ginger to it. Okay, and what else I'm going to add to here? Let me set this board out of the way. We're going to add some, let that start cooking a little bit. Okay, we got the onions and stuff. Onions and ginger here is cooking. I'm going to add I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic, chopped garlic. I want to add these tomatoes. No, I'm not going to add those tomatoes in there yet. I'm going to add these carrots in. 1 large carrot cut up, and I'm going to add the rest of my spices here. Before I add those spices, I'm going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. I'm going to add, that's a 12-ounce, 15-ounce can. This is a 12-ounce can of tomato paste. Set that out of the way, and I'm going to add about 2.5 cups of water. That get going. Add the water, about 2.5 cups. That's 2. And a little bit more. We're going to let this come back up to a boil. Stir that on in. And while that's heating, I'll go ahead and add the rest of my spices here. I added the garlic already. I like to add a little bit of natural sugar to kind of take out the acid from the tomatoes. I'm just going to put in a couple of teaspoons of sugar. Now the spices, I have turmeric. This is all tablespoons, so I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of turmeric. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of cumin. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of coriander powder. Rinse my spoon off so I don't get transfer of those. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of coriander. And I'm going to put about a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, because I like it a little bit of spicy. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of paparika. and Masala. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of Masala. And I got this mixed together because I brought it from home and I didn't have the container, so I got 2 and 2 tablespoons of chili powder also. So I'm going to put, this is all mixed already. Oh, that's about 2 tablespoons, close enough. We'll add that in. So that's the spices. I'm going to add some sea salt. Let me take the top of this off. And I'll start with some sea salt. I'm going to say 2 tablespoons of that too. So make 2 tablespoons about everything, huh? On each item. It's a fresh squeezed lemon, 1 lemon, juiced. And we're going to let this come up to a boil and simmer. And you let this cook. I would say once it comes up to a boil, you cut the heat down, let it simmer together for a good 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and let all those flavors come together. Cauliflower, I have about 2 heads of cauliflower. I'm making this for church tomorrow, so this is a lot more than you need for this sauce. I want to put a bag of peas over there also. These are organic, non-GMO peas. And grab my knife and split this open. And in this container, I'm going to blend all this stuff together while this is simmering. And this is soy curls. It's about 8 ounces of soy curls, but after I soaked them in water overnight, so they're all ready to go. If you don't soak them, it takes a little bit longer for that. I'm going to cut this one also, let that start. I blanched the cauliflower for about 5 minutes, just to speed up the process here. And we're going to warm that up. I'm going to add tomatoes to my sauce here in just a minute. Some fresh tomatoes also. And I'm going to cut that down a little bit to low, so it don't start splattering all over the place for the sauce. So I think that's a little thick. I'm going to add a little bit more water. I'm going to add another half a cup of water in my sauce here, because I think that paste is, and as it cooks, it's going to thicken up a little bit more. The only thing else we have to do, I got almond milk here. Normally the Tikka Masala calls for yogurt and milk, so I'm going to use almond milk. I'm going to put 1 cup of almond milk instead of regular milk. And in place of yogurt, I am going to use some sour cream, tofu sour cream. About 2 good tablespoons, I would say, or 1/4 cup. Let's say it was called a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to whisk this all in and stir it on in. Gives it that rich taste, rich flavor with the cream. A lot of recipes call for heavy cream, but that tofu sour cream really enhances the richness of it. And something else I like to add to this and enhances the richness to it is some yeast flakes. So I'm going to just sprinkle some yeast flakes in here to add to that richness also. Now, if you don't have cumin and coriander and turmeric, you can use curry powder if you want to use it, and just use curry powder because it has all 3 of those in it. And the only thing, I'll let this continue to go. The only thing I'm missing is some cilantro. So I'm going to chop up some cilantro here. Go back over here, and this is a good, I'm going to use about a half a bunch. Now, a lot of the herbs, I'm going to take a few of the stems out, but the stems don't hurt anything. Some of the herbs that you use, the stems are really hard and woody, but that's not the case with cilantro. You can use the stems in your recipe. I'm going to hold a few of this back because I don't think I need quite that much. I'll call it that much, maybe a half a bunch. And we're going to chop this. Just a rough quarter, don't have to be that fine. And we'll just take that and put it in our sauce also. I'd say maybe if after it's chopped, I would say that's probably about a half a cup of cilantro, thereabouts. And that's our sauce. And I've already made some basmati rice. It's in the oven here. I got a small amount. I'd taken the rest of it and went ahead and cooled it down. But rice, 2 cups of rice. I like to soak it about 20 minutes before I cook rice. That way it cooks quicker. But about 2 cups of rice to 3 and a half cups of water. I like to saute a little onion and add the rice to it. I got the rice here just for a portion of us to plate up, and I just pulled all these peas and these soy curls and cauliflower out, and I'm going to ladle some of this sauce into here. It's been cooking for a little bit. And mix that all up together. That off. I used about a tablespoon of oil in this recipe, so not a lot, just enough to get the carrots or the onions and stuff to begin with. And then I'll take that, put this pan out of the way, get me another little spray of parsley or cilantro, a few more leaves on the top. And there you got your finished plate. So this is our finished plate. I hope you enjoy it. Try the recipe at home. It's great for the family. And any sauce you have left over, I got a lot of sauce here, like I said, I'm making for the church. But if you have extra sauce, it's okay if you use that recipe. And if you have extra, you can always put it in a jar. It'll hold up fine. There's nothing in it that will go bad quickly. There's no protein in it, so the items in there will last a good week without it going bad. As long as it's in the refrigerator, sealed tight, and it should be fine. Hope you enjoy. God bless.